Wrestling has more than one royal family. Acknowledge me!
Heyo guys, we are back for night 2. I know this is a little different than what we normally do, but here we are getting us started. We have the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre. Why don't you take us through that match, Brother Pyro?
Alright, so obviously, you know, you got the challenger of Drew McIntyre with CM Punk on commentary.
Okay.
I was getting there. I was correcting myself.
Oh, I thought you meant Seth Rollins as his opponent.
No,
so.
Seth Rollins was the champion.
The champion.
The champion. The champion. Right off bat, this match started with a Claymore. So, you know, Drew wanted to get this done right away, get it over with, be done with the night. I want this title. Give me my title.
Give me my chance to shine.
Right. You can definitely tell he underestimated Seth for a little while, though, because he 100%, and I can see why they... He definitely slacked off a bit. Mm-hmm. Wasn't taking his opponent as seriously as he probably should have. It's Seth freaking Rollins. He's not one you take lightly, injury or not.
Yeah.
Punk even said it on the commentary table. I've known this man for well over a decade, and injury or not, he's going to sit there and fight you tooth and nail every match.
Yeah, definitely.
At one point, they split to the outside. I see why this man won Social Media Star of the Year. He grabs a phone from his wife,
who we thought was just regular fan at the time.
And, you know, we're thinking he's taking a selfie with the crowd. No, that man was tweeting. That man tweeted that he was bored at work. With his wife then retweeting it, hope you had a good shift.
He is actually
internet troll.
Hilarious.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, again, Social Media Star of the Year, rightfully so. Because who does that?
Apparently Drew McIntyre does.
But Seth definitely, you know, after that initial Claymore, the 1, the 2, not getting the job done there, Seth definitely showed why he shouldn't have been taken as lightly with a flurry of offense in his own right. Several stomps later, several Claymores later, match finally comes to an end, crowning your new World Heavyweight Champion, Drew McIntyre. But let's talk post-match.
I gotta point out, there was something that you said in our original our original run through when we did this the first time. Right after you had announced that Drew was champion, you said, "Now, Drew, for the love of God, shut the hell up."
You got your moment in front of the crowd.
Crowd still
like you wanted. The crowd was very meh about it. But you finally got your moment. You got your one-on-one match. You had a match that wasn't fair, but was in your advantage. So I know you're not going to complain about that. Nobody screwed you. You got the job done. Congratulations. Shut up.
All right, now let's go post-match.
Now we talk post-match. So he takes the moment to celebrate in the ring. Mm-hmm. Then with his wife. And then you realize Drew really can't leave well enough alone.
No, he really can't.
He gets on the commentary table, holds the title to Punk's face, smack-talking Punk, telling him he better not come for that title, telling him, you know, he'd put him down permanently if Punk comes back to the in-ring competition. Da-da-da-da-da. He's talking all this mess. Punk congratulates him. Drew is reminding him, yeah, this is my moment. Punk then asks a very, very real question. It is your moment, so why are you worried about me?
And he even pointed that out during the match. He's like, I see that Drew is not focused on his opponent because he's worrying about me.
I was going to say, yep, they did point that out. Like, you know, Drew liked to say that Seth wasn't taking him seriously enough, or that he was underestimating him, that he was lacking focus because he was burning the candle at both ends, getting himself involved with the Cody and Bloodline story.
But here you are.
But here you are focused on a man that you injured at the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Still focused on a man that you injured at the Rumble. I'm really glad CM Punk wasn't made referee, by the way, because I feel like this match would have gone a completely different direction.
It would have.
But in midst of all the smack talk, you can tell the annoyance and the visible frustration in Punk's face. Punk finally is like, you know what, screw it, I've had enough. Pulls his legs out from under him and, you know, starts wailing on him.
Actually, he never really touched him. I did notice that.
Like, he
the
pulled
legs
him off.
fell, and then it was the brace. He stepped away from him, let him, like, quiver on the ground.
Took off the arm brace that, again, Drew is the reason that Punk is in that arm brace in the first place. So he takes it, smacks Drew with it. Mm-hmm. And then we hear some music. We hear very good music. Music that I am not mad to hear for the first time ever. Music that doesn't annoy me. Down the ring entrance, around the ring, smacking Drew across the face with that very purple Money in the Bank briefcase. Senior Money in the Bank. Damian Priest comes in, cashes it, announces, you know, he's cashing in.
And I pointed this out last night. I've never heard an announcer
so quick on the draw
to announce he's cashing in.
Damian Priest is officially cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase. Samantha Irvin, can I just say you were MVP of Mania weekend. You, after, you know, Raw tonight, I think, you know, you take a week or two off. You earned it. You killed it, girlie. You killed it.
Honestly,
top tier.
just even her going, Damian Priest is cashing his Money in the Bank. It's like, okay, go.
Right.
She didn't even give it a wind of
She
breath.
didn't give it a second thought. She didn't pull, you know, a referee, a ring announcer from the olden days where, you know, they were supposed to act confused that it was happening.
So-and-so is cashing in their Money in the Bank briefcase. Yay!
The level of excitement that Samantha Irvin brought this weekend was insane. It was absolutely outstanding. But, you know, he announces he's cashing in. He gets Drew back in the ring. A quick south of heaven. Choke slam. 1, 2, 3. New World Heavyweight Champion Damian Priest.
Oh, and doesn't it feel good to say that?
Oh my god, it really does. We had a couple stats that here, one of them being he made it to Mania. They said it, if he made it to Mania, Damian Priest would officially hold the record for longest days with the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yes.
And that contract. You know, there was a lot of moments that you thought he was gonna cash in, or that he could have cashed in. I'm really glad that they gave him the big moment, though.
Yeah, definitely, he deserved it after all these failures.
And then there is another stat that you wanted to point out.
So upon Damian winning this, he is now the first Puerto Rican in 50 years after Pedro Morales won to win a heavyweight championship, one of the big ones in WWE. So congratulations to him on that one.
Woo! I am so happy about that.
Oh, I know you definitely are. Alright, jumping into our next match, we have The Pride versus The Final Testament in a Philly street fight with special guest Bubba Ray Dudley, announced right before the match. I know you were very excited that we had Bubba Ray, because who else to put and to ref a street fight than Bubba Ray Dudley?
An ECW OG. Especially in Philly.
Exactly.
Especially in Philly, there's not many you could have done. I mean, I guess you could have brought in Devon, or maybe Van Dam.
Or maybe we're here with this.
Sandman.
So we're going to go with this. Anywho, running back into this. All 6 men were in the ring. 3 on one side, 3 on the other. Bubba rang the bell and started off right away. It was heavy hitting. No one man stayed in the ring for very long. They brawled and they got out. There was a lot more on the outside of the ring than you tended to see on the inside. So, again, not much to this. There was a moment, not once but twice, that Scarlett did get involved. B-Fab had the answer for that.
B-Fab was the equalizer.
And I do want to point out that I think B-Fab, due to this reasoning, needs to be a bit quicker on her execution for things. There was a table spot on the outside between the two where B-Fab, she kind of took a minute to sweep Scarlett. Like, she was getting ready to sweep her off the ring apron and into a table, and she took a minute at that. So a bit quicker on your execution, I would say. There was a time where Bubba was helping to instruct the Street Profits after he was backed into a corner by Karrion Kross. And we all know Bubba when he puts on his glasses.
You don't... Pat McAfee even said it. Don't put on the glasses, Bubba. Don't do it. Don't do it.
And he put on the glasses, didn't he?
He put on the glasses. You know things are about to hit the fan when those glasses come out.
So, Bubba's sitting there, puts on the glasses, and helps the Street Profits set up for what move? Yes, instructing them to even, spread the legs better, get a little bit higher, and they executed the move. All 4 of the members...
For those that don't know what it is literally just a diving headbutt off the top rope into the midsection / crotch area.
Yes. Then, the Pride stand tall with Bobby while Karrion is kind of asleep on the mat for the moment, writhing in pain. Bubba taps, I believe it was Montez Ford.
He taps Lashley, who then taps Ford, who then taps Dawkins. You get the 1, the 2, the 3, and in unison you hear about 72,000 people chant and yell to get the tables. Mind you, I sat here in our living room, joining them in that call like they could hear me.
Yes, you did.
I am not sorry.
You're good. They try to set up a table, doesn't really work in their favor, and then eventually the Hurt Lock gets put in, ultimately picking up the win, the Pride over the Final Testament. Overall, I would say it was a pretty decent match.
It was solid.
All right. Now, I know
it wasn't a very long match, which was impressive.
No, but neither was our next one, so take us into that.
In a battle of 2 generations, you had AJ Styles and LA Knight. Yeah! Super solid match. Showed a lot of great technical skills. It did. And again, it told the personal story that was this match. Styles thinking, Knight cost him the world title at the Rumble. Knight, being pretty bitter about AJ flying halfway across the road just to hit him with a steel chair and caused him a chance to be called #1 contender for the world heavyweight title.
So, a lot of bitterness on both ends.
Knight showing up to Styles' house in the middle of the night, challenging him for a fight. You really got to see a lot of personal and deep-seated issues go into this one, and I think the match really did bring everything together. Again, like you said, not a very long match.
No, it wasn't very long.
So with it being not a super long match, there wasn't a lot of highlight points because it did go by so quickly. Inevitably, though, pulling out the win was a Mr. LA Knight. Yeah! I'm excited to see what happens next for both men.
Where this kind of goes for them, yeah.
I think this really does help LA Knight climb that ladder, climb those ranks just a little bit more. Styles, a 2-time world champion in his own right. I love that they compared that, by the way. You know, Styles being a multi-time world champion, LA Knight
won a Slammy.
Like,
yeah,
I think I'd rather have the championships.
Agreed. Okay, jumping into our next match, we have the U.S. title on the line. Logan Paul defends against Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. So I want to start off talking entrances because, you know, Mania, they got their big entrances, whatnot. I know I talk about it a lot. Night 1 and 2. Kevin Owens, after Logan Paul had made his, comes down on a golf cart. And as he gets to the end of the ramp, just before getting ready to go into the ring, Randy Orton's music hits, and Kevin Owens kind of thinks to himself and goes, you know what? I'm going to go right back up. Goes right up to the top of the stage and gives Randy Orton a drive down, almost not only wrecking themselves, but the camera crew in front of them. Congratulations, Kevin Owens learned how to drive a go-kart, or a golf cart.
Golf cart.
I call it a go-kart.
But, like, yeah, no, he really did almost not make it to the match.
So, match starts. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton are working together. They're making it kind of a fun little thing where they're going after Logan Paul. You know, they're out by the announce table for a portion. Randy drops Logan on the announce table. Now Kevin drops him on the announce table. Randy goes, you need a little bit more height. Let me show you how it's done. Drops him again on it. They go into the ring, and after a series of punches, Logan's down. They both go for the pin. And they both kind of take a minute and they look at each other, and it's like, well, Kevin's like, do you want to get a pin? I mean, I'm okay if I get the pin. Do you want it?
They establish, you know, even with their alliance, hey, this is a triple threat match, only one of us can win. How do we want to do this?
So eventually after that, they kind of looked at each other like, do you want to wait a bit? You want to do this now? Let's do this now. So keeping their alliance still in the back of their minds, they were beating the hell out of each other. There was a moment later on in the match where Randy Orton took out the Prime mascot by putting him through an announce table.
Yeah, that's 2 years in a row that a Prime mascot has been taken up via announce table.
Whatever. And then there was a moment, I can't remember if it was Kevin Owens or Randy Orton, I believe it was Kevin Owens, but Logan Paul had gotten brass knuckles from somebody in the crowd and was prepared to use them while Kevin Owens got a hold of them and actually turned them into the ref instead of using them on his own. Not much else to say when it comes to this match. Closing moments were pretty nice where Logan Paul hit a frog splash off the top rope, capitalizing on an RKO to Kevin Owens. Picking up the win, Logan Paul has retained his U.S. Championship yet again.
I want to point out something that they said on commentary at the beginning, or during entrances, that I kind of agree with. And I believe it was McAfee that posed the question to Cole and Graves. When was the last time you saw somebody take to this business the way as well as somebody like Logan Paul has? Because he really is just a natural born athlete. Like, the man really is a strong talent. Like, it really did come oh so easy, oh so natural to him. Like, you think you thought that one tag team match a couple years ago, that would be it. Never did I think I'd find myself seeing Logan Paul go or attempt to be a full-time WWE star, nor did I think I'd actually like want it.
So, he picked up the win. Take us into our next match. Someone seems tired.
Yeah, well, it happens.
Alright, take us into our next match.
Best friend, again, really good friends. Best friends turned enemies. Bayley challenging former Damage Control companion.
Yes, you were having issues with that last night.
Yes, I was. It was also like 3 in the morning.
Yes, I'm well aware. All right. Io Sky.
Current WWE Women's Champion Io Sky. We're gonna talk about that entrance because I know you really enjoyed Bayley's like Egyptian themed entrance.
I was a little sad that there wasn't Paramore, but I did really like that.
I was promised Paramore and didn't get it. You lied to me, you dirty bastards.
I did think it was still a really good entrance, though.
Yes, it was. But getting into the match, you really got to see their story and how much each woman has grown in the last few years and how well they knew each other due to being in Damage Control together for so long.
Yes.
You know, when you're on the road with somebody as often as you are in this company, in this business, you tend to learn a lot about people. You're able to really pick up on their mannerisms. When you're training, you get to pick up on, all right, this is how they do things.
Yeah.
This is, and you know, eventually you come up with little counteractions. Because, again, it's something that, you know, you do.
Yeah.
It just happens. It comes with the business. It comes with the territory. One of my favorite things is, you know, you got to really see that familiarity as they went back and forth in the ring. That knee that she does, I don't remember what it's called. We struggle to remember.
I think it's Planted Roses or something like that.
Something like that. You can see how well Io knew her, because at one point she was able to counter it into a handstand and effectively take no damage from a knee to the face, because again, she was able to avoid the contact. So I think that was a really nice touch in this match. You can definitely still tell early on that emotional storm by Bayley that Io was able to withstand. Io did really get a real nice chance to shine in this match.
I agree, yeah.
Where she did have a good chunk of the match in her favor. Now, as we get deeper into this match, you can tell who's more experienced under the big light.
Yes.
As Io hit 2 moonsaults, went for a third, went for a fourth. I think she got a little overzealous and a little overconfident, maybe just a little on the greedy side of things. I get wanting to ensure that your opponent is down and out, but at some point you got to put 2 and 2 together. Like, hey, this is where I've done enough. I should maybe go for the pin or the submission or whatever. Maybe I should really put this away. Her and that greed, I think, is inevitably what cost her. Because walking out of Philadelphia, new WWE Women's Champion, Bayley.
Yes.
This is her, first singles title in 3 years?
Yep, since 2021. So, yeah, it's amazing to finally have her back on top. I think this last heel run was very, very well done. I think that her as a face now, with this, even with the role model gimmick, can be still really good. It won't be as boring and as lackluster as the nicey nice Bayley buddy.
Bayley buddies!
But I think this new reinvention of herself would be really nice. I'm
excited to see where it goes.
All right. Now we are talking main event time. WWE Undisputed Universal Champion Roman Reigns at 1,316 days as champion takes on Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare.
I want to point out that they referenced, the amount of title defenses he's had in those 1,300 days.
Yep.
This makes 31.
Yes.
They also, because you are a stat freak, Roman breaks another record in this during this title reign. So last night, he main evented night 1 of WrestleMania, tying him with Hulk Hogan for most WrestleMania main events at 8. main eventing night 2.
Yes.
He then breaks that record at 9.
Yes, we had actually talked about that before we even came on the podcast talking about it last night. So that's amazing. So congratulations to him for that, definitely. But starting out this match, you got to see what Cody winning back-to-back Royal Rumbles really meant to him. This has been something coming for the last 2 years for this man. You got to see the passion. There was a lot of times where there were hard hits. And I gotta say, we were talking about it even then and last night when we recorded this the first time. We were shocked no one interfered for the longest time.
Oh no, for the longest time it definitely didn't feel like a bloodline match. It didn't feel like a Roman Reigns match because
there was nobody interfering.
There was no interference, but this match really did, for the most part, go Roman's way. Like,
yeah.
He really was able to set the pace for this match.
There were times in the beginning where Cody was trying to introduce foreign objects and Roman just put them away. I don't want these right now. We're going to do this on my time. We're going to do this on my terms.
Exactly.
And it wasn't until Roman Reigns introduced a kendo stick that was really what was all that was used
for a while, yeah,
for the longest time, until a chair was introduced later in the match. Of course, Cody's starting to really pick up momentum, and now we have Jimmy Uso coming out to help his cousin. But Cody had an answer. How do you answer Jimmy Uso? Jay takes out Jimmy at towards the top of the entrance ramp by taking them both through a table. Cody in the ring at the time is trying to hit his triple crossroads. As he gets ready for that third, who comes out other than Solo Sikoa, who hits him with the thumb. 1, 2, kick out. Solo's beyond himself. Solo's freaking out. And he's yelling at Roman like Roman's the lackey. You mentioned that last night.
Yes, I did. It's not often that you see Roman talked to like this. No. But little big cousin definitely was like, bro, get it together. Like, he should be put away at this point. What is you on?
Solo again helps one more time. Cody, 1, 2, kick out. Solo again beside himself. Both men are down at the time. And then we hear music, and I called this one.
You did?
Specifically because it was Solo. Who comes out to answer Solo?
John Cena!
John Cena comes running down. He gives a little bit of a beat down to Solo. Solo gets out of the ring. He gives an AA to Roman Reigns, gets out, puts Solo through an announce table, feeling good about himself. And then how do we answer Cena?
One of his greatest rivals, the music to the final boss, The Rock, hits.
Rock comes down. You can see that moment in Cena's face. They meet in the ring. And as Cena's about to get a couple hits in, nope, Rock flat out rock bottom. And then we get a little surprise. We hear music we've never heard before.
That we haven't heard.
That we haven't heard in a while, I should say.
In a long time.
Sheer Hotel India Echo Lima Delta Shield. Roman's looking, Rock's looking. Where is this person? Who is it? Is it somebody from the back? Is it somebody who's been with the Shield before? Is it, like people like Kurt Angle's done it before? Who is it? And out of the corner, very quickly, in Shield gear, comes Seth Rollins to attack The Rock. That was supposed to be the answer. Superman punch from Reigns.
Takes him out.
Takes him out
for a while.
But I want to point out something. It was something that I read this morning. Reigns had the chair in hand that Rollins came in with.
I want to point out that we'll get to that point. I promise we will get to that point. But we still have the matter of The Rock, because this happened after Rock. The point that I know you are about to
Yes.
make happens after they've taken care of The Rock.
All right.
So let's handle The Rock first.
Rock standing in the ring. Lights go out. Gong hits. Who's standing behind The Rock other than?
The Undertaker.
Rock turns around. Chokeslam straight to hell. Lights go out again.
The Rock and Undertaker, once the lights come on, are nowhere to be found.
Now the point I was
Now we're gonna get Cody and Roman have their little moment again. You see
Rollins in the corner.
Rollins starts to stir.
Yep.
He starts to get up.
Roman has
Rock
a chair.
Roman does has the chair in his hand.
You got Cody stirring. You got Rollins stirring. Who does Roman go after?
Roman then takes out, with that steel chair, in very similar fashion to this time a decade ago, takes out Seth freaking Rollins.
In the thing I was reading, it says Roman could have hit his opponent.
Roman had that match won.
But the fact that he
in that
took
moment,
his eye off the ball for what Seth did all these years ago shows that it still has an effect on him.
Oh, it still has a stranglehold. Yep. I saw that this morning as well. Roman had he not focused on being bitter over the last 10 years for something that happened, something that I want to point out they have made amends for.
Yes.
At one point, at a couple points over those 10 years. Mm-hmm. He took his eyes off the prize. He focused on somebody that was a non-factor to his match at this point.
Yes, definitely.
He could have taken that chair. He could have swung on Cody. He could have cemented and immortalized his title reign in that moment, and he chose
Seth
to let he chose his emotions over what was important.
So, that being said, Seth rolls out of the ring. Cody takes it, capitalizes. 3 crossroads back to back to back pins. 1, 2, 3, and your new
WWE champion. She announced it as when Samantha Irvin, with tears in her eyes, announced Cody Rhodes as the winner. She did not say undisputed WWE Universal Champion. She left it at WWE Champion. Because that's what this whole thing was about, was the WWE at the time, WWF, 20-something years ago, when his dad
was there,
should have had it.
Rhodes being
his whole point was, I want to hand my mom the WWE title.
Yes. And he did.
And he got that moment to do that. The roar and show of respect of guys from the back. Because at first, you had Cena, Jay, Rollins in the, you had all those
there,
that helped him during the match. Then down comes Orton, down comes Sammy, down comes Kevin Owens, down comes LA Knight. You are getting the locker room back. Down comes Punk. Rollins and I think Owens help, or Cena and Rollins I think help Rollins finally get back into the ring.
Yeah, he was struggling a bit because that
they help
chair shot.
Down comes Brandy, the father-in-law.
Mom.
I want to say it was a whole family affair.
Oh yeah,
then
his sister and all them.
He grabs the microphone. He's like, "Look, part of the biggest reason I came back were 2 people in the back, Bruce Pritchard and
Triple H.
I want them to come down here and celebrate this moment with me." And they come back. They come out.
They have a nice.
They have a moment. You get to hear, you don't really get to hear, but you get to, everybody's getting their moment to say something. And, Randy, definitely, congratulations. You got Triple H, who congratulated him and probably reassured him Dad's proud of you right now.
Yeah, you could see it in the face.
Rollins on the outside, yep. And I know you pointed this out last night while we were watching, when Cody went to go tell him thank you, Rollins said, go take your moment.
Oh, he said it's your time.
It's your time, that's what it is. But he basically like, I don't want any of this. I don't want you to give me any praise. This is you now.
Yeah.
Go enjoy this. This is you. This is your time to shine.
Yeah, definitely.
Do not focus on me.
Yeah. It was beautiful.
It was. You had guys hoisting him on his shoulders. I think that celebration lasted so long. You got to hear his theme song at least 4 times.
Yes. Actually,
it started, went beginning to end, restarted, beginning to end, restarted, beginning to end.
Yes, definitely. I know we finished Mania. Let's get our grades real quick, and then we got some other things we got to chat about real quick.
So, in order of
matches.
World Heavyweight Championship, B, the cash-in, A+. B+ for the Pride and Final Testament, B+ for LA Knight and AJ Styles, A- for that US title. Women's title was an A. That main event was actually an A+, and I think that is probably one of the highest graded Roman Reigns matches I have had since I've started doing these grades.
Yes. Overall for that night?
Where did I put it? B+, and overall for the weekend, a B overall for the weekend, because I got to take night 1 and night 2 both into consideration, and overall I think night 2 being the better show.
Yeah.
Night 1 still kind of dragged it a little.
Last year night 1 was the topper. This year night 2 is the topper. Before we get off of this, before we talk to the other things that we have to get for season 3, how about we thank once again our Hall of Famers?
All right, our Hall of Fame class of 2024. You have Thunderbolt Patterson. Mm-hmm. You had Bull Nakano. You had Muhammad Ali. You had the U.S. Express. You had Leah Maivia.
Yes.
All of which, have accomplished a lot. Thunderbolt Patterson,
Oh, we went over that in our pre-show, man.
Really.
Yeah.
I'm quick cliff notes. A big-time wrestler during the territory days and a time for, civil rights. Really got to help elevate. They even said it during the award ceremony. A lot of people, and during the video package, a lot of people, without really paying attention, stole a lot of their characters and gimmicks from Thunderbolt, Road Dogg, Dusty, New Day, all in,
yeah.
It was great. You got to see, U.S. Express, who multi-time tag team champions, fathered and uncled some of the future generation in a Bo Dallas and a Fallen. Screw you. I'm not gonna cry. Bray Wyatt. I'm not gonna cry.
Yes. Wyndham Rotunda.
Yeah, shut up. Because they alluded to that in the introduction speech and their acceptance speech. Hell, when they brought him out, they were wearing Bray Wyatt shirts.
Yes, and each time we came back from a decent, the one commercial, and once it started to get dark, we had the Fireflies everywhere.
The U.S. Express led the Fireflies during the Hall of Fame.
Yes. That was very sweet.
I didn't cry.
Yes, you did.
I cried a lot. Like a baby.
Yes.
And then you had, boxing and heavy civil rights activists and legend, the original people's champion, Muhammad Ali. You had the first real women's wrestling promoter, who in a time,
yes.
women are seen, not heard. Women don't have a place in wrestling.
Leah Maivia.
And then headlining the Philadelphia class of 2024 WWE Hall of Fame, the man that gave us Extreme, the man that gave us Brock Lesnar, the man that gave us CM Punk, the reason we have the tribal chief Roman Reigns.
You said it last night. The reason we have Stone Cold.
I was getting there. The reason we have Stone Cold, the man behind the Dudleys, who, as a side effect, and I'm going to say it this way, kind of helped birth one of my favorite matches, TLC, because of what he was able to do with the Dudleys in ECW. The guy that gave us The Undertaker. I need that one emphasized. This man gave us Mean Mark, who later evolved into the phenom known as The Undertaker. That man continues to amaze and surprise me, because he said it. You've knocked me out 100 times. I'm going to come back 101. You knocked me out that 101st. I'm coming back 102nd. We are going to keep this going. The spirit of ECW lives on in what we see in wrestling today. So, Mr. Paul Heyman, congratulations on being the headliner for that ECW crowd for this year's Hall of Fame in Philly, because again, it only made sense that you induct
him here.
Him here. Thank you so much to all of your contributions.
To everything you have done.
To everything all of you inductees have done for the world of pro wrestling, because each and every one of you has shaped what wrestling is today.
Now, before we cut off, we are obviously starting season 3.
Woo!
What can we see? What can the fans that listen to us see come season 3?
So season 3 is going to be a really, really big year. If you haven't noticed, we've already updated the logo.
Yes.
Thank you to my boys in the band Knifeback for that one, because they really took a lot of work and time away from their own separate projects to get that done for us. So Knifeback, thank you. I want to say we are also, outside of that, we are looking at eventual merchandising. I gotta find somebody to, make us stickers, but I want to get stickers out there.
We want to get stuff to advertise.
We're gonna start with our own personal merchandising in, t-shirts and sweaters, wearing them around, and that way we can start, posting pictures on what's going to be. Another point that I'm making is we are looking at a stronger, more consistent social media presence, because I know that we really don't get on there as often as we should.
Yes.
With that social presence, we're going to have a more visual presence outside of the TikTok that we have, which again will be a lot more featured, a lot more consistent, a lot more post heavy. We are going to look at, maybe streaming a visual on like a Twitch, maybe eventually going back to the YouTube.
I don't know about that one.
Eventually, maybe so solid. Eventually, maybe we're working our way there. It's not going to happen overnight.
Oh, Lord.
I'm thinking of eventually making a Facebook page for us, so that way you guys can have an easier time reaching out and, interacting with us. We're going to start letting you into our personal. We're gonna start
personalizing.
Yeah, we're gonna start becoming, instead of just talking figures, we're actually going to be people to you guys. We're gonna personify us just a little more.
Yes.
And that's gonna go with the whole Wrestling Crossroads family. That's me. That's Twisted, that's Flash, that's Hex, Cauldron, Desario. We're going to look at adding more members to the family.
Yes.
Which I'm really excited about. We're going to look at adding a few more shows. Mm-hmm. We're looking at partnering with local indie promotions as well.
Yes.
That's already kind of started becoming in the books. More details to come with that one on the socials as more details are become present or become available. I'm really excited to see
how far we've come.
And season 3 we've hit now 100 plus episodes, 1,000 plus downloads, and we want to thank you all for that. Because this does not happen without you guys listening. Yeah. This does not happen without you guys paying attention to,
without you guys having those notifications on your phone. Hey, another episode's uploaded. Let me go listen to that. I know.
Like, paying attention to the little bit we post on the socials. Like, you guys are really coming out in full force to support us, so we appreciate it. We love all of you guys.
Like, little podcast that was started out of just love. Like,
this was literally just started out of a passion of pro wrestling and boredom during the pandemic.
Yes.
Because I need that pointed out. This really happened. This started 4 years ago. Pandemic. We were just bored as hell, sitting in your living room. You were telling me about how you had your YouTube channel and how I was like, oh, that sounds like fun. Like,
we should do wrestling predictions on it. And I said, yeah, I'm kind of looking to branch and do something because I wanted to do so much with this channel. And then we realized we
are really awkward in front of a camera right now.
Yeah. So we talked about podcasting. We made the website that we upload this to. We made this a whole year before we even started posting.
We started,
and it was something
this
that was
process
took us
a lot of time. So the fact that you guys care enough to give us a reason to keep doing this, we appreciate all of it.
Yeah, definitely.
But with that being said, again, I want to say one more. I know I said it on the pre-show this weekend. We also celebrated another milestone within our Wrestling Crossroads family. Baby Crossroads is a year.
Yes.
As of this past Friday, we got to celebrate with him before Mania Night 2 kicked off in the middle of the day.
To a awesome. WWE themed birthday party.
It only made sense. He's a wrestling baby.
Yes.
Baby Crossroads. It all made sense. So again, I really hope. Obviously, he's too young to really
be here right now.
Understand what the hell is actually going on. But I really hope that when he looks back at these pictures, that he's able to look at them and smile and just know that although we care a lot about this, that we still care about him just as much, if not more.
That we do this for even him too.
And I'm hoping that one day, as he gets older and he can understand, what pro wrestling is, that he takes an interest, and that way we can have him sitting here next to us, doing this with us on a consistent basis. Because think about it, as the next generation of wrestlers is coming up, that next generation of fans are also coming into light, and he's going to be part of that.
Yeah.
And I want him to have something that's going to help him showcase that.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait till he can really learn about this and learn about how much the fandom of wrestling comes together and has those true and raw emotions.
And obviously, we're not going to be able to do this forever. Eventually, our time to step aside and our time to retire is going to come. And I want Baby Crossroads, and eventually as he gets older, we're going to have to come up with a new nickname.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have to come up with another nickname.
He'll still always be Baby Crossroads to us.
Yes. But eventually I want him to take this over. He step into the light. We give him, we pass the torch on. Yeah. We pass this mic on to him if it is something that he becomes interested in.
Oh, definitely.
Because I want that, I'm that passing of the torch of like, we're the Michael Coles right now, and we're slowly morphing him into that Corey Graves of, all right, I think I found somebody to take the helm when I no longer am fit to.
Yeah, definitely.
But
It's
happy birthday to Baby Crossroads. Happy first Mania weekend. Happy Mania weekend to all of our Wrestling Crossroads fans out there.
And
we
our
hope
family.
you enjoyed every second of it as much as we did. Keep listening. We love and appreciate each and every one of you.
Thank you guys again.
Thank you for getting us to 100 episodes, and thank you for getting us to 1,000 plus downloads.
Yes.
Keep listening, keep downloading, keep sharing.
Keep it going.
We will see you in about 2 weeks for AEW's Dynasty.
And with that, Wrestling Crossroads, we sign off. Laters.